I've mentioned this a couple times on the channel now, but I recently achieved my dream of winning the Star Wars trivia at DragonCon. But I wanted to keep my tradition of doing videos on questions that stump me alive, and so today we're talking about this guy, a Jedi Knight from Attack of the Clones who had 22 frames of screen time. That's less than a second. But we were expected to know his name at DragonCon trivia this year because that's what it's like. His name was Nicanas Tassu, presumably because he was one of the Jedi who tossed a spare lightsaber to Anakin and Obi-Wan during the Battle of Geonosis. I really need to keep these silly pun names in mind. The last video I did on a question that stumped me was for Dane Jeer in A New Hope, the Imperial officer that warned Darth Vader that holding Princess Leia could be dangerous. At this point, I'm honestly surprised Admiral Mahdi's name isn't Nichols McSuffocate. Okay, I'm joking about Tassu's name. It's actually a Tuckerization of the crew member who played him, Nicanas Tassu. He works at ILM still, having most recently served as the visual effects editor for Black Panther, but he was also an editor for the Clone Wars, and of course he worked on Attack of the Clones and The Phantom Menace before that. But it is kind of hilarious that the word toss is in his name. And if you don't know what Tuckerization is, it happens in Star Wars a lot. It's just the practice of basing a fictional name on a real-life person's name. For example, the radio host at Galaxy's Edge is Palab Gadalhi, based off of Pablo Hidalgo. Anyway, back to Nicanas Tassu, I don't think it's surprising that there isn't much lore on the character. He's obscure even by Star Wars standards. In fact, the only real information on him can be found on StarWars.com, which states that he and his fellow lightsaber-throwing partner, Sefjet Josal, both likely died on Geonosis. It simply states that neither of them would likely have left Geonosis alive. But who are you to say, Tim Vkoven? Why do you have such little faith in these two heroes, whose sole job apparently was to get weapons to other Jedi rather than get in the way? While I was writing this video, I got curious about Josal and wanted to see if there was any extra lore on him. He was played by and named for a film editor of the prequel trilogy, Joseph Jet Sally. There isn't any more information about him, but there is an action figure. Normally I act really indignant about the topics that stump me in trivia, but looking into Nicanas Tassu just filled me with a desire to fight for him. Why did Josal get an action figure but not Tassu? Are they both not equally heroic? This aggression will not stand. Someone get Tassu an action figure or a Funko Pop or something. Anyway, I had no idea what his name was in the contest, and I guessed something like Goatee McSoulpatch. So that's it for today. Now you know Nicanas Tassu's name, and not much else about him, other than the fact that he deserved better. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.